Hi there, Thak from Thak Ironworks. Welcome. Today, another installment in our chess set, and head of today is a moose. So I've got my little plastic moose model here, and we'll be working off of that. I actually did one hook for my grandson for Christmas, and I think it's somewhere on our YouTube channel where I just showed it, and I just thought that was a pretty cool one as far as process for something to do. Moose head is very much like the horse head as far as a foraging style, and can be used to make, well, the ram's head, cattle, whatever, deer, anything that has that kind of bovine sort of face to it works quite well. So let's begin. 3/4 square. Step one, we're going to round off the nose. I'm just going to knock the corners back. So coming in at a 45, knocking those corners back, then I'm going to knock the corners off the corners. Till you are left with a faceted hemisphere, something like that. So I'm just going to put about 3/4 inch over the edge, and I'm just hitting with the hammer half on, half off. I just want to drop that snout down. Now, I want to bring the corners back. And there we have it. So now I've got that snout drop down the front there, thinned it out a little bit there. I've gotten this plane, it's on a 45 now, where the eyes will be going in. So now we're going to head over to the vise, we'll get the nostrils put in there and start sinking the eyes in. So I'm going to do the eyes now. You could do it with just a center punch like this, which is just fine, and you just get a cavity for the eye. But I'm going to be using the bird's eye punch here, which gives the eyeball and just makes it a little bit more interesting, a little more lively. So this is the punch I will be using. All right, so I'm going to start back halfway on the snout with the eyes and come in at a bit of an angle to start. Try to get both of them balanced, and I'm on my 45 plane there. I don't know if I'm articulating that right. Now that I've got both of them started and balanced symmetrically more or less, I'm just going to start pushing back, and I'm steepening my angle as I push things back here. All right, it's gotten cold already. I'm going to have to get it hot again, and we'll push those back a little bit farther. I want to bring out this area back in here. By pushing it in there, I can bulge that out and give a more believable facial structure for this thing. So the snout is a little bit wide here. I want to do that little hourglass shape in the center there. So I'm just going to get in here with a spring fuller and see if I can bring that in a little bit. All right, while I'm at it, I'm going to get in behind the skull and just start the neck. So there we go, we've got that started now. So now we've delineated the head, and we are ready to shape the neck. All right, so now I want to shape the neck here. So I want to curve this like a traditional knight chess piece. So I've got to get some shape in here, and then we're going to bend it. Well, let me show you what I mean. Okay, I got this nice and hot. I'm just going to go over here and quench the face in water so I don't damage that. Now, as I put it into the forks here, I'm using a wooden mallet so that I'm not smashing up the detail on the face if possible. Now I can start bending away as I go here. And end up with something like that. I'm just going to go over to the vise and straighten out the head there. He's coming off at a bit of a funky angle. So something like that. That concludes the basic forging portion of this. The rest will be like fabrication. So we're going to make the antlers now and the ears, and I'm actually going to make a little beard for it as well. And those pieces will be welded on. So let's begin with the accessories. So I'm going to do the antlers now, and what I've done is using my little model here as a guide. I did one basically double size based on the scale that we're doing, and I drew out this here. I don't know if you can make that out. Anyway, that's what we've got. So there's my template. I'm putting this on a piece of 1/8" plate, and I'll just trace it out with a pencil because Sharpie is a little bit too dull or too fat a line here. So pencil a little harder to see, but on this slightly rusted steel it does show up. And now at the crotches I'm going to put little Sharpie marks where I will be drilling a hole. To the drill press. So pretty self-explanatory. I think I'm just cutting out into the holes there and getting that shape there. I'm just using my bandsaw in upright position to do that. By the way, these are 5 30-second holes. I know somebody's going to ask that, so a fairly small hole on that. Here we go. Okay, so the ear, just doing very simple design for these here. So I get a piece of 14 gauge, 1.5 inch wide. I just did a little center line there roughly. Put this in the vise. And there it is. I'll just get onto the grinder and scope that out a little bit, and then I can hammer it into shape a little bit more, but that is essentially the ear there. All right, so just dishing these guys into my little form here. All right, so here we are. I've got all my components here. I've chopped off our little friend, the antlerless moose, and I will be setting him up here. I've got the antlers ready, I've got the ears ready, and I also cut out a little piece for a beard to put in underneath there yet as well. So all these components, so now we are getting into the fabrication part of this process here. So I'm just gonna start tacking these on. My first step is actually I'm going to tack the moose to the table there so that I can have a sturdy area to work with because I want to position those antlers just right. So I'm using my little MIG welder for this. It's just not a whole lot of penetration needed for this job. Now get my orientation right here, and it's just a matter of positioning. All right, so I've just got everything hot here, and I just want to do some fine tuning. Put the ears in position. This was a pretty quick one. We spent maybe 2 hours in total on it. I think for what it is, it's pretty good. I wanted to go with something a little bit cartoony, not too serious, and I think it worked out pretty well. Yeah, so there we have it. Antlers are a little bit wonky, but I think I'm just going to leave it like that. All in all, a pretty nice rack, which I like. Okay, so goodbye, see ya.